This is online journalism. My name is Xavier with an X. And today we're going to talk about what is news. What is news? Yep. This is lesson number 1 of our basic online journalism course. So let's begin. Let's rock and roll. Action. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. What is news? Also, what is your motivation to be involved with journalism, with news, with reporting the news? Well, probably some of you want to save the world, to tell the truth, to become a writer one day. And that's okay, no problem with that. Some of you maybe have had some advice from your peers. They tell you, well, if you write good essays at high school and you like to read a lot and you love books, then study journalism. That's it. And that's okay. I mean, if you write well, if you read a lot, you're going to be a very good journalist. But that's not the only thing, okay? And as a matter of fact, many journalists became great writers. Just to say a few, for example, Ernest Hemingway, he was a journalist and a writer. He won the Nobel Prize in literature. He made lots of reports from Europe, from the Spanish Civil War, and even Asia. Another one, a bit farther away, was Rudyard Kipling. He was born in India. He was a British citizen, and he wrote The Jungle Book. You can have seen the movies and the animation, or now there's a new movie over there. And this guy also was a journalist, and he was the first citizen from the UK that won the Nobel Literature Prize also. And there's many examples. For instance, here in Costa Rica, we have Joaquin Gutierrez. He was a journalist all over the world. He specialized, I think he was the first journalist in Red China. And here in Latin America, he has a lot of books, stories, and most of them have been translated to like 20, 30 languages. So it is a good idea. I mean, it's if you learn how to write in a journalistic style, which is basically clear, easy to read, all the ideas very structured in a way that everybody can understand it, that's a good first step to become a journalist. I mean, a writer. But, okay, let's not get confused, because I also wanted to be a writer when I first started journalism. And I got confused. Why? Because in the news, at least what we can call hard news, let's say everyday news, your opinion is not allowed. When you have the everyday news, nobody wants to know your opinion. So you have to get that out of your mind. News, in the basic sense of the word, does not have the opinion of the guy who is writing it. It has opinions of the people who are making the news. For instance, a fireman that is attending a catastrophe, a politician that is saying something about the government, and an artist who is giving a concert. So it does have opinions, but not your opinion. Your opinion, okay? So this would be like the basic and the first lesson I can teach you today. News is facts. Facts. Okay? News is facts. It's not opinion of the journalist. Okay? So, let's do a little thing here. Let's put the facts. I'm going to put the facts here so you can read it better. So, the other segment of the news would be opinion. And when I say opinion, I am talking about editorials, that's the opinion of the newspaper, columns about different topics, film critics, sports commentators. I mean, they say whatever they want. It's their opinion. They can say that player was terrible, that team was the worst in the world. That's their opinion, and it's in the opinion section. So they can have an opinion because that section allows it. The news, or the hard news, or the everyday news is facts. Facts and more facts. It's not your opinion. There are journalists who do editorials and who do sports news and comments, but they're putting another hat. I mean, I'm not saying that journalists will never have an opinion. No, I'm saying that when you are in the hard everyday news, you have to get your opinion out of them, okay? So we have news here and we have opinion here. So in the middle, we're going to have another item here, and really it's in between news and opinion, and it's what the French call reportage, which means to report. In Spanish is reportaje. And basically, it's what the name I would say in English would be news story. So this is a news story. What is a news story? It's the kind of article you will find in a magazine, for instance, like National Geographic, like Time, like the booklet they put on Sunday. That is mostly news stories. It's bigger, it has more photographs, it has a lot of opinions inside, and it has, that's why I say it's in between, a point of view. Let's put it here, point of view. So this point of view is given by the journalist who is writing the news story. But it is not, just like an opinion. It's based on facts. And let's say you're doing a news story on a painter. You're going to talk about the life of the painter, where he lived, where he got his main influences to paint in this way or in that way, if he got through different stages in his work. And at the end, probably you will say that, talk about his general style and his contribution to art. So that has a point of view. And the aspects you get into the story are all based in facts, but also have an opinion, because people are going to talk about him. They are going to see his trajectory, to see his thoughts. So it's like a really big coverage of a story, whatever it is. Another example, if you're talking about housing for the poor, or housing in general, Then the news story will have opinions from the housing department. It will have opinions from the guys that just got a new house, or the people that live in the street, the homeless. It will also have some data. How many houses did this administration do for the poor? What is the difference between a house for the poor and a house for the rich? And lots of things. So the news story or the reportage has a point of view, but it's based on facts. It's not just because I thought it was, I just got it out of my mind. No, it's based on opinions, it's based on facts. So it's something that, it's a big project compared to the news. For instance, a news story will be like 6 or 7 pages or screens if you're doing it on a computer, and the news basically it's one, more or less. So this is the setup of the things you will find in journalism, and let's see the 3 main steps or segments. So it's hard news, news story, and opinion. And they are absolutely different. Okay? Now you're beginning to study journalism. You cannot do everything at the same time. So first, let's concentrate in this one. Let's concentrate in the news, and this too we're going to see in other lessons, but it's you have to master the hard news, the everyday news, before you get into the other ones, okay? Okay. Well, now I can tell you something that happened to me when I began my journalism studies at the university. Probably one of the first classes was terrifying for me and all my classmates, because we went to this, our first class, and the professor, after saying a few words, he said, okay guys, now you have half an hour to go around the campus and bring me 10 news articles. 10. And we were petrified because we really didn't know what is news, how to get some news. And the professor told us, from my office here at the university to this classroom, I saw at least 50 news. And yeah, we didn't know what to do. We weren't able to see the news. We didn't realize that almost everything is news. And also, I'm not talking about 50 news, like that would make the front page of the New York Times, no. But remember that the news is related to the audience. There is no news without an audience. The news is, what would be the word? Absolutely tangled with the audience. Okay? So, if you're in the university, your audience obviously will be the university students, the professors, the campus life. So, there we were, we had to get 10 news. We weren't able to get even 3. So, what would we be looking for at the campus? For instance, if you go around the campus and you see new waste baskets, that is news. That's a news item. Why? Because you can talk about the percentage of garbage that there is in the university, how many of that is recycled, are they putting the new waste baskets in different places? Does it have any mechanism that makes it easier for the garbage collectors to flip it around, whatever. So even a very simple thing like new garbage cans or garbage collectors in the campus is a news item. Okay, another one. If there's a bus service for the university students, that's news. Why? Are the guys who take the bus happy with that service? Is it faster than taking their car or their bicycle? Does it make sense to have a university bus service around the campus or to and from other places near the city? Interviewing the students that take the service. Okay? So that could be another news. Let's say the library. Is the library catching up with technology? Is the library using the same old handmade library cards, or is the library having some new technology? Is the library tuned with the net? Could you get your books through the web and then get them the next day? Whatever. I mean, technology, library, that could be another news story. And that's the same in any other place you are. If you're planning to do some online journalism for your school, then let's say it's an elementary school. Well, a new playground can be a news item. The cafeteria that has health foods, well, is that having a lot of clients? Do the students like those healthy foods? Are they more expensive than the, let's say, the normal foods? So you can find news almost everywhere. And as I told you, the audience is basic to the news. So that's why you don't have like a world newspaper. You have lots of online newspapers, but they are related to audiences. For instance, Le Monde, famous newspaper from France. You have online version, but it's the point of view of the French people. USA Today. If you're in China, you can click USA Today and you see what USA Today is saying, but it's the point of view of the US. Their audience is the United States of America. And the same with the Europe press and Indian press and African press. Everybody is related to their audience. You write for an audience and you have to know your audience. Otherwise, you might end up writing things that they don't care about. For instance, if your audience are the stamp collectors, well, you're not going to be writing about horses. You have to write about things that the stamp collectors cherish, like a specific type of stamp from Nepal, or a new release from Spain, or the cost of taking care over the years of your stamps and that they don't get with fungus and other stuff, you know. So there is, as I've said many times today, a relationship between the audience and the news. Okay? So, I have a homework for you. I want you to go every day during this week, when you're at the bus, going to work, when you're riding your bicycle, when you're driving around town, you have to find three news items that you could make a news story out of them. Okay? 3. Pick the 3 you like best every day, 3 each day for a week. So you do this exercise and you begin to identify newsworthy things, problems. Doesn't have to be problems, can be nice things. Because the news is everything, and it's everywhere. But you have to train yourself to watch it, to detect it. So you have to connect your news detector, okay? And that's your homework. So let's do a very fast recap. Remember, news is data, it's facts. No opinion in the news. Second, the opinion section is different, and it's a segment that's where the editorials are, the columns are, the news commentators, the sport commentators are in the opinion section. That's absolutely different. And we have in the middle what we call the reportage or news story with a point of view, which is a combination of these two. But we're going to see that in the next lesson. So that's it for today. I hope you got the main messages here, and I hope to see you on the next lesson. Okay? Take care.